Hey, Bethany.
Hi, Charlie.
Do you like to listen to books while driving or walking or sitting?
Sure.
Really?
Sometimes.
Well, if you've never tried it before and you're listening to this podcast, you could go to our description where we have a link and you could click on it and get a free 30-month. No, not 30-month.
Oh, wow.
How long is it?
30-day trial,
Oh, it's
right?
a 30-day trial
Just
of
like
Audible.
1 month.
Audible, the book reading service.
1/30th of what Charlie tricked you
Yep.
into believing.
And you can get 2 free audiobooks with that as well. And so, go start listening to books.
There's lots of good books out there.
That's right, baby. It's time for movie trailer trash. Enjoy. Hello, and welcome to Movie Trailer Trash. My name's Charlie,
And I'm Bethany.
and we just watched the trailer for I Feel Pretty. But first, do you have a little announcement that you want to make?
I
Public?
do. Thanks for reminding me. I would have forgotten. All right, everybody. So those of you who like us on Facebook or maybe just recently liked us on Facebook have seen a post about a Star Wars poster that we're giving away.
Star Wars The Last Jedi.
So we picked the winner based on the people who commented with their favorite characters and the people that liked us. Thank you, and I hope that you enjoy our podcast as well. The winner of the Star Wars The Last Jedi poster is Liara Winteroath.
Liara Winteroath, obviously a very great name.
There's nothing wrong with the name.
She commented that her favorite character was Obi-Wan Kenobi and 3 heart emojis. So
That's
she
right.
loves him. So Liara Winteroath, if you want to get your prize, send us a message and
Yes.
give us your contact info so that we can send you an awesome poster.
Send us a message on Facebook, and I will get your address and mail it to you. It's a great poster.
Hand delivered. We don't have interns
I
that do
can't
this stuff.
guarantee that. Oh, you mean I can't hand deliver it though?
Well, you hand
Send
deliver
it
it
through
to the post
mail.
office.
Okay.
It will have touched your hands at some point.
I swear to you, this poster will have touched my hands at some point. But yeah, it seems like you're a great Star Wars fan. You've got a little Star Wars profile picture there
Nice.
with a stormtrooper. So thank you so much for liking the page. Thank you for commenting and taking part in our fun game. We will have similar promotions in the future.
That's a big promise.
It's not a big promise. We will have similar promotions in the future. Probably not Star Wars posters, but maybe other posters. And yeah, there's lots of other fun things you can get. So thanks for liking us on Facebook. Please continue to follow and tell your friends.
Whoop, whoop. All right, on to the episode.
We just watched
I Feel Pretty.
starring Amy Schumer.
Amy Schumer.
And let's just dive right in.
Oh, wow.
I am excited. It looks funny to me.
So here's what's happening in
initial
this,
reaction.
in this movie trailer that we looked at. Amy Schumer plays a woman who appears to be working with a lot of supermodels. Maybe she does makeup or something. I don't know. But she is always worried about her looks and how she doesn't look as good as everyone else. And
She's
that
very
she's
insecure.
irritated about it and blah, blah, blah. So she's cycling one day and she falls over and hits her head.
In the gym, cycling on a stationary bike. And she still falls over and hits her head. It's pretty dramatic. And then when she wakes up, basically, after passing out, she looks in the mirror and all of a sudden she thinks that she's beautiful. And I say she thinks as if she's not. She is beautiful, but all of a sudden Amy Schumer's character realizes that she's beautiful.
Well,
but
no,
in her mind, she thinks she looks different.
She thinks she looks different. She doesn't look different to anyone else, including the audience, and she's having delusions and should probably go to the hospital, I would imagine.
Probably. However, something that... So I've heard this described, or maybe I
Hallucinations.
described it this way, as kind of a reverse Shallow Hal. So...
But also a reverse Shallow Hal.
A big throwback, though, okay? Because Shallow Hal is old.
Isn't it a
AF.
remake of something else also?
I don't know. But the Shallow Hal I'm talking about stars Jack White. Nope. Black. I do that sometimes.
That would be interesting.
Jack Black.
Actually, no, it'd be really boring.
Stars Jack Black. And basically, if you haven't seen Shallow Hal, Jack Black is kind of like a shallow jerk named Hal.
A shallow Hal, if you will.
And I can't remember what happens to him, but somebody basically either curses him or blesses him. I don't know what you want to call it. But he is given the ability to see people the way that their soul is. So if you're a nice, good person, you look sexy and fine. And if you're a jerk, you look ugly and stupid. And so he falls in love with a woman who's extremely overweight.
Like ridiculous. Like,
ridiculously overweight.
and they do the
I
thing
mean, obese,
that's like
morbidly obese.
where she like sits down on one side of the park bench and he sits down on the other, and it like
raises
lifts him up
Yeah.
off the ground.
So she's supposed to be ridiculously big, but he sees her as beautiful and whatever. And then basically in that movie, at the end, when things turn back to normal and he sees what she really looks like, he realizes he's still in love with her.
Aw.
Yeah.
Way to go, Deep Hal.
Yeah.
That's what they call him at the end of the movie.
Hey,
Deep Hal.
Well, anyway, in this, I mean, it's kind of like she all of a sudden sees herself the way that her inside is. She's a beautiful person, and she always felt ugly, and now she can see herself the way maybe the world sees her. Like you said, the world sees her exactly the same. The only thing that's changed is now she feels beautiful.
Yeah, she's just really confident.
I feel
and
pretty is what it's called,
all
right?
this stuff, and she, does all these things. She's super
It
confident
clearly
with
changes
this
her
guy
life.
and
The
all of
confidence.
this stuff. Now, that being said, it's really obvious what this movie is trying to do.
It's clearly like a lesson movie.
I'm sure there's going to be no sort of like surprises or anything in it.
Yeah, I mean, I
but
think it's going to be a really sweet movie about how, if you're a confident person, then your true self shines through and the world will see how awesome you are. And that also that the world's standards of beauty, different people have different standards of beauty. And who are you to say you're ugly?
right, exactly. Okay, but I'm sure there's just going to be a lot of, one of the things that people don't like about Amy Schumer is that she goes after like really easy. She takes low hanging fruit.
Yeah, a lot of her jokes are about how she's a slut or she's ugly and or fat, which really, I can't speak to the slut part, but I don't think she's ugly or fat. I don't think she thinks she's ugly or fat. That's an argument I had
like
with a
those
friend
are
of mine.
those are easy jokes.
Yeah, they're fun jokes. They're easy jokes, but they're
and
also
she does
funny.
that. And
Like she does
but
a
she
good job.
She didn't write this movie. Someone else did.
Oh,
the writer and the
I
director
didn't realize that.
are Abby Cohn and Mark Silverstein, and they wrote Never Been Kissed, which is a Drew Barrymore movie.
Seen it, love it.
Seen it, love it.
Well, like it.
Okay.
I just want it to be fun. Go on.
He's Just Not That Into You and Valentine's Day.
Okay, seen it, love it, seen it, hate it, in that order. Valentine's Day is one of the worst movies I've ever seen.
You love He's Just Not That Into You?
It was really good. It's kind of depressing though. Spoiler.
So I mean, here's what this movie is. It's an easy movie that is a feel good movie that you
will
will
be funny.
feel good leaving.
But here's the thing.
But you'll also probably never see it again.
Did she write Trainwreck?
Yes.
Okay, so that's interesting to me that she wrote a really, really fantastic rom-com. Like, there haven't been a lot of fun, great rom-coms in the past 5 years, but hers was one of them. It was fun. It was also sweet and sentimental and just great. And so it's weird to me that she didn't write another one, but I guess it's not like it's easy to just sit down and write a rom-com. It probably takes a lot of time. And somebody probably said, we think this role's great for you, and she probably liked it and thought it was similar to her type of humor and that she could pull it off. So
yeah, I mean, you don't have to write everything. There's plenty of
I
comedians.
know, but I just think she's really funny. And I think that it's not just the low-hanging fruit jokes. Like, her actual movie, Trainwreck, is like a really good movie from start to finish. It has a lot of depth to it.
Yeah, Trainwreck is really good.
So
also
being
very
said,
sad.
Yeah, but I think that every rom-com, or really every comedy, like a good comedy always has an element of sadness to it. It's just like how a drama should have comedic relief. I feel like every comedy should have some sort of realistic sad moments in it.
Mm-hmm.
It helps to contrast with how hilarious everything else is. It brings you back down to earth a little bit so that you're feeling sad, and then boom, they hit you with a laugh. So I mean, think about The Big Sick.
But here's the thing about this one is that all of the stuff I've seen in the trailer is funny. Nothing is like really that bad. It just doesn't seem, like it's going to be a great movie, but
No.
it seems like it could be a good movie.
Here's what I will say. I think that it looks awesome and fun, but I know that a part of that is just because it plays two of my like favorite pop songs of the last 5 years. Like it starts off with I've Got a Ways to Go, which is like one of my favorite songs since I've known you.
Wow.
Since I've known Charlie, so over the last 7 years. I don't know when it came out. I think 2013. Great song. And then it finishes off with the Meghan Trainor song, If I Was You, I'd Want to Be Me Too.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that's the name of the song because
But
it's
that's
kind of a long
if,
name.
if you Google that, it'll come up.
Absolutely. And those are great songs. And so I do fear that the songs are taking it a long way. It's kind of like how you can make even something as terrible as the Suicide Squad look good if you just put a great song behind it.
It's a good point.
I mean, you really can. Great music can really make a trailer. Sometimes a movie.
Yeah, I mean, I have a feeling that not because of this trailer, but just because of the type of movie it is, and because the trailer was good, that you'll go into it and then you'll get bored fairly quickly because there isn't a joke
Maybe.
every 5 seconds
Maybe.
like there is in the trailer.
But I think it'll be sweet and fun. So,
Right.
and okay, when I think about the other movies, so Valentine's Day's terrible, but it's not like the worst thing I've ever seen. It's just like
Are you sure, though?
they just try too hard. They're trying too hard the whole time.
Right, which might happen with this.
And here's the thing. The reason they did Valentine's Day, I think, is because they had such great success with He's Just Not That Into You, where there are several different
they?
storylines. Yes.
It was
yeah.
successful?
Yes.
Okay.
It has several different storylines, and they all seem like random separate stories, and then you see how several of them kind of actually cross each other's paths. Like, it's not perfectly connected, but you're like, oh, wow, these people are all kind of in the same sphere of the world.
Well,
I don't know how to
the
explain
first start of that thing in romantic comedies was Love Actually, where they
Yes.
have like a ton of characters
Yes.
that all are
Okay,
doing
and
something
so
at the same time.
They had a lot of success with He's Just Not That Into You doing that. So then they decided to do Valentine's Day. I think they did like a New Year's Day. Not necessarily these people, but after Valentine's Day,
Oh,
they
yeah.
did several more. Mother's Day. I don't even know.
I thought that
it was ridiculous how many days they
Flag
did.
Day, Arbor Day.
Right. It was terrible.
I want to see the Flag Day movie.
But no,
It's just people like carry
it's
around
just like
flags.
a bunch of, they're trying to show these different cut up stories, and then all of a sudden you see how they kind of interlock, and there's always some sort of twist or trick in it, and it's fine. But there's a lot of good things about them, like little moments that are good and well written. What was the other movie they did? The first one you said?
Never Been Kissed.
Yeah, that was a fun, good rom-com
Never seen it.
from back in the 90s.
I've never seen any of these, so
It was a fun, good
keep
rom-com.
that in mind.
So, I mean, I think that's the thing is these people clearly know their way around a good rom-com. And so I think it won't get boring because it's not going to be joke after joke after joke. It's a rom-com. So it's going to be romantic.
The
It's gonna
stuff
be sweet.
between her and that guy that is, shocked by her forwardness,
Mhm.
which is funny. I think that those
That's
parts will
great.
be good. I think that
The stuff about her job might be boring. Because she goes
Maybe,
into an
I don't know.
interview with her newfound confidence, and she's like, they're like, where do you see your career going or whatever? And she's like, I know what you're saying, and I know that modeling is always an option for me, but it's just not who I am.
and it's possible
So
that they do
I think
those
they're going to do that. type
that
of
they
thing.
might do those cheap jokes in the trailer because and then the thing with like the wet t-shirt contest and
Hilarious.
whatever. Kind
Full
of,
spin,
I guess.
hilarious. No, it's so good. It's so good. It's funny the way that in Nacho Libre, it's funny when he like shows off his pants. It's silly and
Right.
fun.
But like in this
His confidence is fun.
in the trailer it's like presented as like this big moment and big thing, and then if it were more of like a side thing, which I think it probably will be in the movie,
Yeah.
then that'll be good. If it's like a whole production and like
The
5
things-
minutes long or whatever.
The things that I like, I think that's something that, okay, trying to get my thought out here. When you think of Jack Black, he's a goofy guy, right? And he is funny, but most of what's funny is the way he says things, the voice he uses, the funny face he makes,
Mhm.
right? And I think Amy Schumer has a lot of that quality.
I think so too.
And so when she tells her friends, she's like, guys, I know you don't recognize me, but it's me, Renee. And she says it just like that. She's just like so excited, like I'm sure you can't even believe it's me. And of course she looks the same, so they're like, okay. And then she does like a turn to show them who she is, like showing herself off, and they're like, oh, full spin, there she goes. And she's so funny the way she presents herself.
Yeah.
It's like what she's saying isn't funny. I think that that's something that people don't give her credit for. So like maybe she's picking the low-hanging fruit, but she's presenting it in a way that makes you laugh anyway.
I mean, a lot of people have a lot of hate for her. I think one of the main reasons,
Whether you want to or not, she makes you laugh. She is
one of the
funny.
main reasons is because of joke stealing,
Yes, and I understand that.
which
However,
is a big deal.
the jokes that I've heard that she's stolen, I've gone and looked at the people who say she stole them from her, and a lot of them are like the most generic jokes in the world. And it's like she could have easily came up with that on her own, and you could have come up with that on your own. You know?
Well, that's usually how that
That's
goes.
what I'm saying. Like I doubt that she saw
is
the
either
joke.
it's
It wasn't
that
verbatim.
or it's you heard it somewhere and forgot that you heard it somewhere.
Sure.
Most of the time, no one's trying to steal jokes unless you're Carlos Mencia.
Exactly. Exactly. Here's the thing. I'm just saying, like, I've looked at it pretty extensively, and there was only one that was like almost like a exact steal. But even then, it sounded more like she had heard it because she had twisted it up a little bit.
And as I've said to you before about her, is that I remember when she first started and seeing her on like the Comedy Central, like, you know, variety kind of shows.
Because she has her own show.
And she was doing stand up and no, like, have you ever heard of Premium Blend?
Nope.
I
never had Comedy Central.
It was a show on
growing
Comedy
up.
Central where they would just show like 2 or 3 minutes of stand up and then go to the next person, and they'd play marathons of it over weekends.
Cool.
And she was really funny, and she had like this unique timing to
That's
her
what I'm saying.
jokes
It's
and the end of
timing,
her jokes
the
and
way
stuff
she
like
says
that.
things.
And then, you know, she got really huge really fast, not weight-wise, but she got really huge really
Yeah.
fast, and she got her own show that she had to do every single week, and she just kind of ran out of stuff.
Yeah, it's exhausting for any comedian.
What's falling over there?
It's a pen, but that was kind of creepy. I
Oh.
just heard like a weird
It was the top
sound.
of my pen flew off. Anyway,
Sorry about that, guys.
yeah, and so she kind of just ran, and she got burnt out, and then she did that movie Trainwreck, and
Which
it was
was
really
great.
really good, and you
Made
know,
me learn to love LeBron James.
And then she did that one with what's her name? That was
That was terrible from what I
Probably-
heard.
awful.
I heard it was terrible. But you know what? I think that's the thing. She is trying to get into this acting thing. You know, she wrote a great movie and did a good job acting in it. She is a funny person. She does acting in all of her little sketches on her show. You know, every actor's in bad movies. Robert De Niro's in terrible movies sometimes.
The Intern.
Samuel L. Jackson, terrible movies. Tom Hanks, terrible movies. And those are all great actors. I don't know why I just chose to name guys.
What's
but
a
still.
terrible Tom Hanks movie?
Larry Crown.
Ooh.
Yep.
That is a bad one.
I thought you were gonna name a terrible movie for each of those people.
I was going to, but I
You
couldn't.
didn't. You were worried about thinking on your feet like that,
Yeah.
real quick.
Like, bah, bah, bah. Because all I could think of was Snakes on a Plane for Samuel L.
You should
Jackson.
have said that.
Well, but it's supposed to be bad.
But it's still
So,
hilarious.
you know.
Anyway, the point is, I think that this will be fun and good. Do you want to talk about where, when, and how we might see it?
I do want to talk about that.
Let's do it.
Where? When? How? Are you gonna see this movie? All right, where, when, and how you're gonna see this movie? I will go first. I'm probably not gonna see it in theaters. I probably won't rent it, and also, I will probably at some point see it on a streaming service, but only because I am, only because you'll suggest it.
Fair enough.
If I were just like a single dude sitting around, I probably wouldn't
Oh
see
yeah,
it.
you'd probably never see it.
But also, what I wanted to say was that this movie is such like a standard feel-good type movie for a very specific people that if you go in feeling bad about yourself, you'll probably come out feeling good about yourself.
Absolutely.
Even if it's not the greatest movie you've ever seen, and even if it's not good at all, you probably will still come out feeling good about yourself.
Yeah, and that's something I forgot to say earlier that I was thinking. I guarantee you people are going to leave this movie, men and women are going to leave this movie just feeling like, I'm going to change my life.
yeah. yeah.
Guarantee you. I mean, you're going to come out of there and be like, you know what? I'm asking for a raise. Or you know what? I'm asking that girl out or whatever.
Right.
Because it's just going to, it's kind of like sometimes you see a movie that's so uplifting and like empowering that you just want to go out there and do it. You know how some movies just make you feel pumped up? It's kind of like how after you and I saw Baby Driver, we went to the gas station, we got out of the car, and then later, once we got back into the car, we were like, didn't it kind of feel like we were going to rob that place? Just because, like, the whole movie, people are getting in and out of cars really badassly, like, quickly and smoothly. Like, you know, anyway, it just makes you feel like you can do what you saw in that movie.
I like the word badassly.
Badassly. Just shutting and opening doors to cars.
Shutting and opening doors. Putting cars in park like a badass.
That being said, I think that now that I'm getting Movie Pass, I will probably go and see this movie. But I think I'll either go see it alone just for fun, because sometimes that's fun to do. You know, maybe on a weeknight or something. I could see myself doing that. Or with a friend.
Oh, a friend?
Yeah, or a sister or something.
A friend or sister, not both. Can't be both.
The point is, I think that I could find somebody who'd be interested in seeing this with me and would enjoy it. And it doesn't have to be you. And I do think it would be more enjoyable in theater just because, you know, I don't know. The theater setting is a good place to laugh. You don't feel self-conscious at all because it's loud. It's in your face. So you don't feel like you're going to laugh so loud that somebody else misses a part.
And you won't get people like me talking during it to you.
Yeah.
If we were to just watch it here at home.
Well, yeah. And at home, I feel like I do this because I hate it when people do it to me. I like try not to laugh too loud because like when you laugh and then I miss the next thing that happens, it makes me really mad. I'm like, you're laughing so loud that I'm not hearing the movie or show. And you're like, I can't help it. I'm like, you can help it.
I can't help it.
I choose to laugh quieter when I'm here.
You choose to laugh quieter?
Yeah, you know, just keep it in, man. Don't ruin the show for everyone else.
I will not stifle my enjoyment for your
The
poor
point
hearing.
is, oh, look who's talking about poor hearing. Mister, I can't hear you if you're not looking at me.
What?
That's right. Anyway.
I hear with my eyes.
That's bad.
Oh.
But anyway, the point is, I think it'll be fun, and I do think now that I have Movie Pass, I'll go see it. If I didn't have Movie Pass, I'd probably see it on streaming.
All right. Well, let's kick it over to our Rotten Tomatoes percentages. Rotten Tomatoes percentages! Aye! Rotten Tomatoes!
Okay, here we go. It's so hard with comedies, especially rom-coms. People tend to love to hate on them, you know?
Yes.
Kind of like horror movies. It's rare that you get one that's great. You know, recently we had The Big Sick with 89% or something, right? It was real high.
No,
Might
it
have
was
been even
97.
higher. There you go.
Yep.
There you go. So, I mean, and that was great and totally worthy of it. This is not going to be a Big Sick type of movie, but I think it can be close to a train wreck type of movie. That sounds not good, but it is good.
Wasn't that in the 80s? Trainwreck?
Yeah, it was like 86, I think. I'm going to give this a 78.
Ooh, a 78.
Yeah, I
that's
think
very
that's-
high for a comedy.
I think that's real good. I mean, you know, we'll see what happens. I think that she got probably like 86 for Trainwreck, and then she got like 32 for that mother one that she was in.
But
so
I mean, remember, she didn't write that one,
I know.
and she
And
did
she
write
didn't-
Trainwreck,
And she didn't
and
write
so
this
it's
one. So
of a different quality.
But
in my
based
opinion.
on what I know of the other movies they made, I think they could easily pull out a 70. What did I say?
78.
I think they could easily pull out a 78. I know these writers. I'm like, they're good enough.
Yeah.
Audience score, let's say 80.
Wow.
Just right there. Just a little above.
All right.
People like to laugh, man.
Okay. So I have two possible critic scores, right? I have.
You can only have one.
It's either going to
It's
get.
called Guess the Score, not the scores.
It's either going to get a 24% or a 63%. So it's either going to be decent or really terrible,
okay. I can accept
in my
that,
opinion.
even though that's not how we do things here.
And
I can
then,
accept that.
regardless of its quality, I think that the audience score will be like 15%. Because
Really?
she's one of those people that the entire internet
They're just over
hates
her.
her and like wants to bury her. Like there's go look at like all of the YouTube comments and all of
But
everything
people like
that she
Trainwreck.
ever does or did or whatever. Because Trainwreck was really, really good.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think that this is going to be the comedic quality or emotional quality of that movie.
But I think it'll be at least.
And that was directed by Judd Apatow also.
But I think that it'll be the comedic quality of Jumanji, the new Jumanji movie, which got real high scores.
Do you think that?
Yeah, I do think that. And I've seen Jumanji and you haven't, so I have more of a say in this.
Eh.
Jumanji is great, but it's definitely
But it's not, you know,
Trainwreck good. Trainwreck
Well, yeah,
quality.
no.
But it got like a really high score, like 80-something%.
But I'm just saying that this is one of those things that people will just, will torch.
Well, I hope that people don't
because
torch it. Listen,
They
if
don't
you
because
don't,
people really like hate her.
if you don't like Amy Schumer, then one, don't go see it, and two, don't just give her a bad rating just because you hate her as a person. That's not fair. You don't know her,
You don't know her.
and you don't have to like everybody's comedy. That's fine. Watch a movie with somebody you do like. That's what I got to say about that. I hate people that just go on and try and ruin scores of things. That's upsetting. That's like The Last Jedi.
Yeah.
Back to the bringing it all back to the start here
Mm-hmm.
with the Star Wars. Don't go on there and just say something's bad because you want to make other people unhappy. You want to ruin everybody else's fun. Everybody's having so much fun. The critics love it, the people love it, and then you're just like, I want to make people miserable and pretend that it's not a great, awesome movie.
Oh God.
By the way, I'm wearing my Last Jedi shirt today
That is true.
in honor of the fact that we're giving away the Last Jedi poster.
Poster.
Also, The Last Jedi is coming out on DVD like
Yes.
real soon, like I
It
think
is.
April 1st or something. So I hope that, everyone runs out and gets it. And just so you guys know, we are definitely not sponsored by Star Wars or Disney or anything. I would love to be, but we're not.
I would totally skew all reviews if that were to happen.
I just want to put it out there that, we're not. There's no studios that are sponsoring us.
If I
or
were being
anything
paid
yet.
by anyone, I would just completely sacrifice all morals.
No, that's not true. But the point
and
is,
objectivity.
I am Bethany, and I always tell you my opinion.
Oh, okay.
That's one thing you can know about me. For those of you who are new to the podcast, same thing with Charlie.
All right,
That's what
well,
we're here to do.
I feel pretty. It's probably
I
going
feel
to
pretty
be,
too.
It's probably going to be mediocre. It might be bad. It might be good. But either way, you're going to feel good leaving.
Yeah, you're going to feel good
I think
leaving.
that's a pretty.
Which I feel like is the same with Shallow Hal. And I think Shallow Hal is a bad movie. But when you're done watching it, you're like, I feel good.
It's kind of like Chef. You know what I mean?
Ooh, yeah, but that's
Chef,
a good movie.
Chef is a really good movie,
but it's not like special.
right, exactly. It's not
Just
special.
makes you feel good.
It's just kind of a fun. It's a fun feel good story that makes you feel good, and
So also,
that's it.
I think that this is the type of movie that maybe not now because of all the streaming services, but before all the streaming services, this movie would have been on Comedy Central every weekend for like 3 years.
Oh yeah,
Like Van Wilder, what else was
with
on?
400,000 commercials
Where
in between.
basically at any moment during the week,
would-
especially on a weekday, you could just flip to Comedy Central and it would be playing.
It would turn it into a 4.5 hour long movie.
Yep. But it would be fun. You'd flip through and you'd be like, oh yeah, this one's funny. That's what you do.
Oh,
I'm sorry. You want to give us some plugs here?
I was going to,
I know. Well, I didn't know.
but you
Now I know.
purposely interrupted
It was
me.
not on purpose.
Purposely. All right, you go ahead and do it.
Okay,
you can
guys,
go to our website, mttpodcast.com. You can follow us on Twitter at mttpodcast. Go to Facebook, Movie Trailer Trash Podcast. Go to Instagram at Movie Trailer Trash. You can subscribe to us on iTunes. You can rate and review us on iTunes. You can do other stuff.
Tell your friends about us. Share. Everybody loves, word of mouth.
Exactly.
Everybody loves to find out about the cool, fun podcast you're listening to.
And don't forget to go to our description and or website and get your free 30-day Audible trial with 2 free audiobooks.
Do it. Click it from our website.
Do it, click it from our website. Do it, click it.
And as always, you can check out Entertainment Buffet. They so kindly put us up on YouTube, and they also have a bunch of their own fun YouTube videos.
That they do.
Check them out. Bye.
Bye.